The Cardano ecosystem has had limited exposure to all the FTX drama, and this has been very good if you've been an investor. We've seen that Cardano wasn't listed as a spot trading pair on FTX. Charles Hoskinson has come out with major announcements over the last few weeks, and we've continued to see the ecosystem grow in terms of wallet addresses and TVL. So everything's been looking good for Cardano. But recently, two Cardano-based projects just looked like they raised funding, ran away with millions of dollars of user funds, and this is a bit concerning. So today's video, I want to go over the good and the bad, everything going on with the ADA ecosystem. Starting off with the good. What we're seeing is that Cardano's TVL had increased by 6.5%, or about 5 million ADA over the course of 24 hours on November 23rd. And this is extremely bullish because being in a bear market, you typically don't see this sort of spike in TVL, total value locked, basically meaning the money in Cardano's projects, in the Cardano dApps. So seeing this is a very bullish sign if you're a Cardano investor, because it shows us that despite everything going on in the market, despite everything going on with FTX, people are still believing in Cardano-based projects and putting money into them, not just saying they like them, but actually putting money into them. A lot of this was driven by some of Cardano's biggest dApps, which include MinSwap and Wing Riders and Sunday Swap. Those have been the driving DEXs and dApps in the Cardano space. So this has a lot to do with why we have seen that increase. In addition to this, we've also seen, as of recently, Coinbase Japan came out and announced that they are officially supporting ADA tokens. This is a big deal. You would have thought that ADA was already listed on Coinbase Japan, but it wasn't. And this is important because Coinbase Japan is a very big sector of the crypto space. What we have seen is that Japan represents one of the largest populations of crypto investors in the world, according to many reports, and seeing that Coinbase Japan now launches support for ADA just is going to make it easier for people and investors to put money into the Cardano space. So that is something that is very, very exciting as well. I wanted to quickly interrupt today's video to bring you a word from our channel partner, Rebus. The Rebus platform is not just a regular cryptocurrency, essentially is connecting the DeFi space and taking it more mainstream. You see, as time goes on and more people get involved in the crypto space, the obvious place they're going to turn is their traditional financial institutions, expecting crypto services to be available. But the problem is many of these financial institutions don't yet offer any crypto services or any DeFi services. So that is where Rebus comes into play, because the Rebus platform assists conventional financial institutions and establishments in building the best crypto products available. The way it works is Rebus offers two categories of products to facilitate growth in the DeFi space and to connect these conventional financial institutions. The first is called Rebus Direct products. What these are is they are essentially built and maintained by the Rebus team and implemented directly into the Rebus vault. Rebus is the sole supplier of these products, using no third-party smart contracts or applications, ensuring complete security. And the second is called Rebus Layered products. These are essentially third-party applications running on the Rebus chain, among other chains, and they're interconnected through the Cosmos ecosystem. So ultimately using the Rebus investment and inter-blockchain connection logic. This, combined with all the other features, helps to connect DeFi with conventional financial institutions. And ultimately, Rebus platform is tackling this huge problem in the crypto space and in the conventional financial space, which is a multi-trillion dollar opportunity. So use my link in the description, check out the Rebus platform today, and let me know your thoughts. Next thing is that we've also seen that Cardano recently had a big announcement that they have funded a $4.5 million research hub at the University of Edinburgh. This is a very interesting collaboration, in my opinion. I wasn't really expecting it, but according to Input Output Global, IOG, which is the parent company for Cardano, the one that helps build it, they said that they are going to launch this investment hub at other universities in the future, but they said ultimately the goal of it is to improve scientific understanding and set new standards for research within the blockchain and distributed ledger industry. They said they're starting off with Edinburgh, but they've also made similar investments at Stanford and Carnegie Mellon. So they have plans of having multiple research hubs at multiple universities all across the world in the future. But this is something that is just going to help people get more familiar with the Cardano blockchain, make more improvements and research in the blockchain space, in general, and it's just going to help get younger people, younger developers, exposure to the Cardano blockchain and its coding language. So all of that is very bullish for long-term blockchain, crypto, Cardano, all of those. Last thing before we really get into the concerning news is that recently we've seen a lot of information about stablecoins on Cardano. In our previous video, we talked about other stablecoins that are going to be launching in early 2023. We've also talked about Midnight, which is Charles Hoskinson's major announcement for the Cardano blockchain that he's been working on for years. So I'll link that video down below. But what we're seeing right now is that Cardano's first ever decentralized stablecoin, Djed, this has been in the work for over a year, is officially going to be going live on main network on January 2023. This has been something that people have been talking about for over a year now. And the cool thing about it is that at launch, Djed is going to be integrated into 40 applications on the ADA ecosystem. And the launch is also going to introduce Djed Pay, which is a service that will let merchants accept Djed payments. All of this is just something that is progress in the right direction for Cardano's ecosystem. Is Djed going to be the ultimate stablecoin for Cardano's blockchain? We don't know. But what we do know is that there's a lot of new stablecoins launching on the Cardano ecosystem in early 2023, and seeing that things that have been in the work for over a year, a lot of projects that have been talked about, are finally rolling out their mainnet launches. A lot of them are finally going to be able to be used and implemented across the entire ecosystem. So that is something that is very cool. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Djed, we have spoken about it in previous videos, but the thing that Djed focuses on is over-collateralization, meaning that it is backed by excess collateral in the form of cryptocurrency. They're trying to prevent any sort of situation like what happened with UST and Terra Luna. And they said each Djed is going to require more than 400% in collateral to be minted, and that is something that they take very, very seriously. Over-collateralization, making sure that what has happened with other stablecoins is never going to happen with them. So we'll see what happens on that front. Now let's talk about the bad news. Bad news is that recently 2 Cardano ecosystem projects have looked very suspicious, to say the least. They suddenly halted development and said that they're just going to keep the funding until new adequate development teams come on. So the projects are Ardana and Orbis. And the thing that's interesting about this is this looks like it was a coordinated effort. What we can see from this is that on November 23rd at 7:44 p.m., Ardana said, "Hello, Ardana community. Unfortunately, due to recent developments with regards to funding and project timeline uncertainty, the Ardana project has had to come to a halt. Our code will remain open source for builders to continue our work going forward as they wish." They ultimately go on to say a few more things, but the other thing that is very important with this is that they also say the funding is going to stay with them ultimately until an adequate team comes along to use it. In addition to this, we also saw Orbis at 7:24 p.m. on November 23rd say almost the exact same thing, word for word. So seeing that both of these projects released statements within 30 minutes of each other saying how they're halting any sort of development, they're going to keep funds on the side until an adequate team can come in and take over. This is something that is very concerning, especially for Orbis. Orbis is a project that was just selling NFTs and selling its raising funds within the last 72 hours before that announcement. You could see the very day before they released this, they had said that more than 50% of our NFTs have been minted. Don't let these NFTs fly out of your hands. Grab them now. They had been heavily promoting the project, raising funds for 3 days up until this announcement when they said, "Oh, we don't have enough funds, we need to stop development." That doesn't seem right. When they're saying funding and uncertain conditions, yet they had just raised money, said they had sold out of more than half these NFTs, that seems very concerning. Yes, they did say, don't buy any NFTs, stop minting them, but you don't just raise hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then 2 days later say we have a funding issue and uncertain conditions. Yes, we all know the crypto market is a little bit uncertain right now, but you have money, you just raised it. So this is something that you need to keep an eye out on. Follow these developments over the coming days. I'll keep you guys updated, but it is very concerning to see that 2 Cardano-based projects come out within 30 minutes of each other, say that they need to halt development because of funding, yet they both really had just raised funding and had significant funding from other raises. So let me know your thoughts on this. Personally, I do think it's coordinated because what we can see is that Orbis, which was a project that was strongly associated with Ardana, the interesting thing about them is that Ardana founder Ryan Matovu was also the CEO of Orbis Labs. So there seems to be too many connections, too many coincidences in this situation, and just let me know what you guys think.